Well everyone, the Google Pixel 6 Pro and the Google Pixel 7 are two beautiful Android phones that came out a few years ago, but let's go and see how they both compare in 2024. Now, the first thing I'll definitely tell you is both these phones are great. If you do want to pick up either one of these though, links will be down in the description. You can get them from there and you can help support the channel at the exact same time. Now, starting off with the outside of both these phones, you have to remember that both of these devices are very good phones that Google has basically made. The Google Pixel 6 Pro, which came out back in 2021, on the front side of this phone is giving you a very big, nice 6.7-inch LTPO AMOLED display. It's 120Hz, 1440p, and it's a very good panel. The thing I like a lot about the Google Pixel 6 Pro is the fact that this type of phone is basically a curved display. So I personally like having curved displays. I think these types of displays look very good. If you're going to go and use a phone, these are very nice displays for the most part, but not perfect by any means. But I do think if you're going to go and use a phone, these things are fairly solid options. Now, on the Google Pixel 7, on the other hand, this is a little bit of a different story because it's a smaller panel. So this one, you're getting a 6.3-inch AMOLED display, 90Hz, 1400 nits of brightness, so it does get brighter, but the refresh rate is less and the resolution is less. So it's a 90Hz panel, which is still fairly smooth for the most part, and I think it still does a pretty good job. It's a non-curved display, so it's basically just a flat display all throughout. But I still think if you're going to go and pick up a phone, this thing does a pretty good job of what you're doing. And I think from that side in and of itself, it's a very nice type of display. But again, keep in mind these things are not perfect, and you might be having some issues if you kind of look at these types of phones, and you'll probably see and compare it against the newest phones. You might be like, well, this one has 90Hz, it doesn't have 120Hz like the Google Pixel 6 Pro has. So from that side, that kind of covers it up from the front side. They both have USB Type-C ports on the bottom, which are very good. The sides are kind of like curved, flat a little bit. I don't know how to describe it. On the back side, you're getting standard glass backs on both these phones. So as always, it's really nice to have these standard glass backs. I think they hold up fairly well from that side as well. But there's not really that much else to kind of complain about here. Like I feel like for the most part, if you're going to go through and pick up either one of these phones, I feel like you're going to be getting a pretty good experience on both these devices, which is very nice. So they both have wireless charging, which is really nice. They both also have reverse wireless charging, which again is a very nice feature to have. I'm so glad they finally put that in these phones, and in this case, and going forward, we're going to have that as well, which is really cool. And dual camera setup on the Pixel 7, triple camera setup on the Pixel 6 Pro. That's kind of the main things that we're getting inside of these two phones, right? Like these two phones are very good. But the big thing here also is the price tag. The Google Pixel 7 right now on Amazon is basically around $230-ish, where the Google Pixel 6 Pro is about $210. So even though the Pixel 6 Pro is giving you a bigger display, higher resolution, 120Hz, those things, the Pixel 6 Pro is basically a cheaper phone than the Pixel 7. And the main reason for this, as you probably would have guessed it, is the fact that the Google Pixel 7 is just a little bit, it's just, a newer phone, and you're getting a newer chipset, you're getting new things like that. But the Pixel 6 Pro might be a better deal. I mean, at that price, it's fairly impressive. And although, again, it's not a perfect phone, it is actually very impressive that that type of device is giving you that type of quality and capability from the price tag standpoint. So there's a very big thing to keep in mind. Also, from a battery life perspective, the Pixel 7 is giving you a 4,355 mAh battery, where the Google Pixel 6 Pro is giving you a 5,003 mAh battery. I did a lot of battery tests, and I did see for the most part that the Google Pixel 7, the battery life on that phone was great, but I think the Pixel 6 Pro is probably the better one here, just because it is the bigger size battery here for the most part. So on the exterior, even on the interior and the battery life perspective, you're seeing a lot of overlap, you're seeing a lot of interesting things here for the most part, and I definitely will tell you for the most part, both these phones hold up fairly well, and I like these devices because of that. So from that side, that kind of covers it up there for the most part. Now on top of that, another very big thing here is the fact that the Google Pixel 6 Pro and the 7 Pro, or the 7, are giving you cameras. The Pixel 6 Pro on the backside is giving you a 50 megapixel wide, 48 megapixel telephoto lens, then a 12 megapixel ultra-wide camera, where the Pixel 7 is giving you a 50 megapixel wide and a 12 megapixel ultra-wide camera. Both are giving you 4K, at 60 on the back. The Pixel 7 is giving you 4K at 60 on the front though, but the Pixel 6 Pro is only giving you 4K at 30. So this is kind of a disadvantage, I would say, in some cases with the Google Pixel 6 Pro, because you are not getting that, that camera on the front that's giving you that type of capability of having 4K at 60. So this in and of itself can kind of be a disadvantage for some people. If you're going to go through and pick up a phone, I personally do feel like this in and of itself is kind of a disadvantage for that type of device. So keep that in mind. Again, it's not the biggest deal in the world, but that is just one of those things to kind of keep in mind there. So in my personal opinion, I think it could have been way worse. But if you're going to go through and pick up a phone, I probably will tell you the Google Pixel 7 might be giving you the overall better camera. But as always, it's a trade-off. With the Pixels, 7, you're not getting that telephoto lens. So as always, you just kind of have to keep these things in mind when you're going through and picking up these types of devices. But otherwise though, I think these devices hold up fairly well for the most part. But again, it just kind of depends on which way you're going for within these phones. So from that side, that kind of covers it up there for the most part as well. Now, from the software perspective side, these two phones are still supported with software, or at least the Pixel 7 is. The Pixel 6 Pro was supported with software not that long ago, but now if you're going to look at them, the Pixel 6 Pro is basically done getting software support. So it was still supported for quite a bit of time, which is always a really nice thing to have. But if you're going to go and look through at both these devices, you're basically going to be getting a phone on the Google Pixel 7 that is still supported with software as of me making this video, but the Pixel 6 Pro is basically done. So as always, you're going to have to kind of keep those things in mind. I personally do feel like if you're going to go through and pick up a phone, definitely a phone like the Pixel 6 Pro does a really good job for what you're doing, right? I feel like it's a good software supported phone. You're still getting some security updates here and there, but with something like the Google Pixel 7, this is a phone that, in my opinion, makes a lot more sense to go ahead and utilize in some cases. Meaning that in the Google Pixel 7 side, this is a phone that's still going to be supported with software. It's still going to be here for some time. So it makes a lot more sense to go and buy a phone like that rather than something like the Google Pixel 6 Pro, because the 6 Pro is not giving you any more software features ahead of it, where the 7 is still going to be giving you that. So once again, kind of keep that in mind. Not the biggest deal in the world or anything, but that is just one thing to kind of keep in mind in the back of your head. So from that perspective, that kind of covers it up here for the most part as well. Now on top of that, another very big thing to keep in mind here too is the performance. The Google Pixel 7 is giving you that Google Tensor G2 chipset inside with 8GB of RAM, where the Pixel 6 Pro is giving you that Tensor G1 chipset inside with 12GB of RAM. So this in and of itself is another very big difference here. And the main thing about this is that you're getting more RAM inside of the Google Pixel 6 Pro, but you're also getting a newer chipset inside of the Pixel 7. So this is a fairly big trade-off here. You never really know what's going to end up happening here for the most part, because the performances are always so kind of, it doesn't really matter, because, if you're never going to max out 12GB of RAM, then 8 is probably going to be more than enough for you, right? Also, you're getting a newer chipset inside of the Pixel 7, but I love having the option of having that much more RAM just in the phone if I need it. It's a very, very cool thing to have, in my personal opinion. So if you're going to look at both these devices, I would probably tell you when it comes down to it, the Google Pixel 6 Pro's performance is probably still going to be very, very good. I would err to the side that the Pixel 7 is probably going to be the better one here, but I think the 6 Pro does a really good job for what you're getting at it, and I think that phone is a very, very good device, especially from the performance perspective. So overall, what I'd definitely tell you is between these two devices, I think the Google Pixel 6 Pro and the 7 are very good devices when it comes down to it, right? But I probably would say the Pixel 7 is probably the one that makes more sense for me to recommend to people. It's slightly more expensive, but it is a really good device, and I really like that phone for sure. I think the Pixel 7, is good. I think the Pixel 6 Pro is more of a flagship in some cases, but as always, I think it makes more sense to go and buy something like a Google Pixel 7 than the Pixel 6 Pro, especially because the 6 Pro is still supported with software, but it might be done sooner than the Pixel 7. So from that side, that kind of covers it up there as well. If you have any other thoughts or questions, please let me know in the comment section below. Hit the like button, that will mean so much, but definitely hit that subscribe button. More importantly than everything else, I love every single one of you guys. Hopefully I'll catch you guys in the next video. Peace out till then.